Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Light Reading. As always, I'm your host, Light. This first manhwa that I'd like to bring up is The Player Who Can't Level Up, an action manhwa that I've currently read up to chapter 151 on. Kim Kikyu is the name of its main character. Kikyu lives in a modern version of Earth that has had gates appear all over the world. Some people have received powers and are now known as players. Kikyu is lucky enough to actually receive a unique rank gift that is very rare, but turns out he can't level up like the other players and thus suffers for it. For 5 years, he works as a guide for newly awakened players before having the opportunity to truly realize the potential of his abilities and starts his journey of being an actual player. Its story is 8 out of 10. It has an interesting hook and a captivating initial storyline that has you learning about Kikyu and those around him. Once the potential of his ability starts revealing itself, the story curtain slowly opens up with an aura of mystery as we wait for the truths of the world to be revealed. The characters are 9 out of 10. Kikyu's ability as a player revolves around egos, or having certain items that have potential, and have their inner spirits be part of Kikyu's power. These egos, plus Kikyu's companions, make for powerful combinations and amusing interactions. Its art is 8 out of 10. Its use of colors to identify characters is an association that I came to enjoy after getting through the initial portions of the manhwa. It allows a sense of foreshadowing and mystery both with character auras you're familiar with and brings forth questions if a new color is introduced. The Player Who Can't Level Up has a healthy amount of chapters to indulge in, so if you're a fan of action manhwas and are okay with an amusing cast of characters with enough time to actually get to know them, then take a peek. This next manhwa is Resigning and Healing in Another World, a fantasy manhwa that I've currently read up to chapter 83 on. Its main character is Cho Isu, an ordinary person living an ordinary life in modern Korea. That is, until his parents pass away suddenly. From then on, his life takes a downward spiral as he struggles to keep it all together. One day though, he discovers a portal in his room to another world, a fantasy world filled with magic and new possibilities. Isu uses this chance as a way to get away from all the hustle and bustle of his modern life by resigning from his work and moving into this new world. The story is 6 out of 10. After the initial reveal, Isu gets himself involved with the residents of the other world, and the story takes a more slice-of-life attitude towards itself. Without getting into too many specifics, let's just say that Isu's life takes interesting turns as he lives in this new world. The characters are 8 out of 10. Isu and the characters around him are a pleasant bunch. They are endearing, caring, and give Isu the happiness that he so dearly misses with his parents, and maybe some romance is in the cards as well. And the art is 8 out of 10. The contrast between the modern world and this new fantasy world is night and day. While there are happy times in both, the serenity and happiness portrayed through Isu's eyes as he gets accustomed to this new world that he's already attached to, more than his version of Earth, is a sight to see. So if you're a fan of more easygoing yet fulfilling storylines, with a modern twist of living in a fantasy world, then Resigning and Healing in Another World would be up your alley. Our next manhwa is The Holy Power of Modern Medicine, a reincarnation manhwa that I've currently read up to chapter 86 on. Shin Yu-sung is the protagonist of this manhwa. Known as a renowned surgeon, he ends up dying tragically due to an accident with a truck, of course. And so now, Yu-sung is reincarnated into a fantasy world as a boy named Ray. A doctor through and through, Yu-sung, now Ray, decides to become a healer in this world as well. To his fortune, or tribulation, Ray is gifted with powers in both magic and divine power. In this fantasy world, magic and divine power can be manifested into healing and or destructive abilities. The story is 7 out of 10. The initial hook centers its attention on Ray's drive to become a doctor/healer in this world. This, however, pivots a bit as the world he reincarnates into isn't the same as the one he died in. Rei has to navigate the landscape he is now in to pursue his dreams. The characters are 7 out of 10 as well. The holy power of modern medicine has a multitude of characters and they're quite a colorful bunch. Considering the initial focus though, the scope of the personalities, abilities, relationships, and agendas are wide-ranging enough that there's a character really for everyone in this. The art is 6 out of 10. This isn't the first time I've read a manhwa that has both magic and faith-based divine power in it, but it's the mixing of the different color identities present for the representation of both of them that is intriguing to me. So if you're a fan of the reincarnation genre but would like a more medical or healing foundation mixed in with the overall story, then the holy power of modern medicine would be one to look at. This next manhwa is The Regressed Demon Lord is Kind, a regression manhwa that I've currently read out to chapter 36 on. Its main character is Zeke Moore, the demon lord of this world. Although, to be honest, all the demons are humans with a more sinister aura and outlook on the world. Zeke Moore was defeated by the heroes and perished at their hands. Before dying, however, he vows to be kind in his next life if given the chance. Of course, he is now given this new chance, regressing as Zeke Stillwell, his old moniker before becoming Zeke Moore. But how does he act kind? The story is 8 out of 10. The Regressed Demon Lord is Kind has an interesting hook considering its title. Zeke regressing back in time to relive his life as being kind is entertaining. Some of the later events seem to apply a more devious undertone to the world at large though. The characters are 6 out of 10. The main character trying to live his life being kind is an interesting character trait, and some of the companions that he ends up being with due to these decisions are an interesting bunch to say the least. The art is 6 out of 10. While nothing to scoff at or overtly praise, the art does an adequate job of delivering the expressions, feelings, and overall situations that Zeke finds himself in. Overall, The Regressed Demon Lord is Kind has an interesting enough plot that I find myself wondering what is happening in the background while Zeke lives his second life. So if you're a fan of the regression genre and are okay with the reformation of the main character's approach to life, then give it a shot. Our last manhwa for today is Musician Genius Who Lives Twice, a modern manhwa that I've currently read up to chapter 9 on. The main character is Kim Han-sok, a famous musician who died from an accident and ends up reincarnating 30 years into the future. He actually reincarnates though as Kim Han-young, a normal college student who has spent way too much money on mobile games. Han-sok, now Han-young, moves towards making music once again. The potential is 7 out of 10. With the very limited set of chapters I've read so far, it's hard to tell where the direction of the story will go. The immediate effects of Han-sok being reincarnated are evident of course, as his playing skill and being a musician is still there. But what happened to the people in his first life? It's only been 30 years after all. Its art is 7 out of 10. It's introduced itself with an uplifting atmosphere considering the initial shock that Han-sok is in after waking up as Han-young. I'm curious to see if they will stay the course on this atmosphere or will they divert after getting through its initial storyline. Overall, the mood set by the musician genius who lives twice is a heartfelt one. Han-sok's drive towards music is impressive in the first introduction and I look forward to continuing the journey. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Write in the comment section down below what manhwa and manga you've been reading and I might just take a look. Till next time though, have a good read.